Have you ever wondered how a nation as robust as the United Kingdom can slip into a recession? It's a question that's been on many minds, especially with the recent confirmation of the UK's economic downturn. But first, let's clarify what we mean when we talk about a recession. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but it's not as simple as a dip in a country's gross domestic product. A recession is typically defined as a significant decline in economic activity, spread across the economy, lasting more than a few months. So, what exactly has been happening in the UK? Well, the last quarter of the year saw a contraction of 0.3% in GDP. This might seem small, but it's a clear sign of an economic slowdown. A few key factors have contributed to this downturn. One of them is weak retail sales, which is often a red flag for economic trouble. People are simply not spending as much, and businesses are feeling the pinch. The food services sector, a major component of the UK's economy, has also seen reduced activity. This sector includes everything from food production to restaurants, and a slowdown here can have widespread effects on the economy. And then there's the drop in housing construction. The housing market is a crucial part of any economy, and a decline in construction can be a symptom of wider economic issues. Now let's contrast this with the United States, which has seen a surge in economic growth. While the UK was grappling with a slowdown, the US economy was on an upswing. It's an interesting juxtaposition, isn't it? But remember, an economy is not a static entity. It's a complex, dynamic system affected by a myriad of factors both within and beyond a country's borders. And as we delve further, we'll unearth the sequence of events that led to this economic downturn. The path to recession wasn't a sudden drop, but a series of unfortunate events. Let's rewind the clock a bit and trace the breadcrumbs. The first signs of economic trouble came with the energy crisis fueled by Western sanctions against Russia. This led to disruptions in natural gas supplies and a surge in commodity costs. Europe felt the brunt of this blow, with the UK and the Euro area being identified as having the highest probability of entering a recession in the next 12 months. This was a warning, a canary in the coal mine, if you will. As the energy crisis loomed, its ripple effect began to surface in other sectors. Retail sales, a significant indicator of consumer confidence and spending, started to show signs of weakness. Reduced activity in food services followed, painting a grim picture of the overall consumer market morale. The housing construction sector, a key driver of the economy, also took a hit. The dominoes were starting to fall. During this time, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak had pledged to expand the UK economy. However, instead of growth, the economy only managed to inch forward by a meager 0.1% in 2023 compared to the previous year. This was a far cry from the expected expansion, adding another layer of disappointment to the unfolding economic saga. Meanwhile, across the pond, the United States was experiencing a surge in growth, further underscoring the contrast and the growing concern for the UK economy. These events, although seemingly unrelated, were not isolated incidents. They were interconnected pieces of a larger economic puzzle. Together, they created a perfect storm that led to the current state of the UK economy. Despite the economic decline, there's a strange paradox unfolding in the UK's labor market. At first glance, you might expect that a recession would lead to higher unemployment rates. Yet, in this case, the UK's labor market is tightening, with an unemployment rate of just 3.8%. Even more surprising is the wage growth, which is around 6%. So, what's going on here? Why is the labor market behaving in a way that contradicts the economic downturn? The answer lies in the dynamics of supply and demand. Even in a recession, certain sectors continue to demand labor. At the same time, the supply of labor may be constrained due to factors such as immigration policies, skills mismatch, or workers leaving the workforce. This can create a situation where demand for workers outpaces supply, leading to a tightening labor market and wage growth. But what does this mean for the UK economy? On the one hand, lower unemployment and higher wages can help to stimulate consumer spending, which is a key driver of economic growth. On the other hand, if wage growth outpaces productivity growth, it can lead to inflationary pressures. Moreover, businesses may find it challenging to hire and retain workers, potentially affecting their ability to operate and grow. There's also a social dimension to this paradox. While some workers benefit from higher wages, others may find it harder to secure employment, especially if they lack the skills demanded by employers. This could exacerbate socioeconomic disparities and contribute to social tensions. In conclusion, the labor market paradox presents a mixed bag of opportunities and challenges for the UK economy. It brings some short-term benefits but also raises longer-term questions about economic sustainability and social equity. This unusual situation adds another layer of complexity to the UK's economic puzzle. The question now is, what does the future hold for the UK economy? As we gaze into the economic crystal ball, we find ourselves facing a myriad of potential scenarios. Some are optimistic, others less so, but all are grounded in the complex web of factors that have led us to this point. Let's take a moment to explore some of these possibilities. One possible scenario is a swift recovery. This would entail the UK economy bouncing back, driven by a resurgence in retail sales, a revival in food services, and a new boom in housing construction. This rebound could be fueled by strategic economic policies, innovative business practices, and a renewed consumer confidence. But as we all know, the path to recovery is rarely a straight line. On the other hand, there's the risk of a deeper recession. This scenario could unfold if the energy crisis continues to escalate, with further disruptions in gas supply, or even more dramatic increases in energy prices. The ripple effect of such a development could exacerbate the current economic contraction, leading to a more pronounced and prolonged downturn. Yet, amid these uncertainties, there's a beacon of hope. The European economies, including Britain, have shown an impressive resilience in the face of adversity. Despite the challenges, they have managed to avoid the most severe recession scenarios. This resilience stems from their ability to adapt, innovate, and persevere, even when the economic winds blow harshly against them. The road ahead is undoubtedly fraught with challenges. The UK will need to navigate through the choppy waters of a troubled economy, facing headwinds from various fronts. But as history has taught us, it's in these moments of adversity that nations find their true strength. By leveraging their resilience, adaptability, and ingenuity, they can turn the tide and steer their economies towards a brighter future. While the road to recovery may be challenging, history has shown us that resilience and adaptability can turn the tide.